You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the free 97.3 ESPN mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim with his Locker Room Youth Movement, the intern Andrew Leeds, and producer Danny Ryan in the house. And every Sunday we get a chance to go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green, brought to you by the John R. Elliot Hero Campaign for designated drivers, reminding you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Sign up now for the 12th annual Hero Walk and Run at Ocean City Boardwalk on Sunday, October 15th. Go to herocampaign.org to register today for the Hero Campaign's biggest fundraiser and help them prevent drunk and impaired driving. That's herocampaign.org. Let's go to the Maserati, the main line, sports hotline, and welcome into the lock former Phillies pitcher and a great guy, our good friend Tommy Greene. Good morning, T. Green.
Good morning, boys. How you doing?
Well, I'll tell you what, Tommy. You know, I live and die with my Phillies every day, and 19-4, I'm in a good mood right now, Tommy.
Why wouldn't you be, man? What a great week they had, yeah?
Yeah,
I mean it's great to hear your voice on such an uptick like this, you know?
Tommy, listen, man, it's fun. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. It's fun when they're winning, and it elevates everybody's enthusiasm. It's a lot of fun to win. All right, I want to start off with go ahead.
Before you do that, Billy, breaking news for the Philadelphia Phillies. They have optioned Cody Clemens to AAA Lehigh Valley and called up the big man, Derek Hall.
Derek Hall, long ball Hall. There you go, Tommy.
Hey, I mean, they're doing some moves. They're trying to get a little bit extra power in that lineup, I guess. I mean, I hope Hall is back to his norm because he can supply some of that.
There's no question. All right, Tommy, I know I want to talk about the offensive surge, but before we get into that, let's talk about Wheeler's performance yesterday. Is that a little concerning for you, or they got out to such a big lead, he took a little off the accelerator? What do you think?
Well, no, the guy, we don't try to take nothing off the accelerator or conserve or anything like that because it's getting out of your normal, track. We like to pitch the way we like to pitch, and you have to adjust when you have those longs like that. I mean, who wouldn't want those runs scored for them? So, I mean, the big thing is, I know as a starting pitcher, and I know Zach probably was thinking like this, he wanted to give our bullpen some time off, some guys that didn't need to pitch, which some of them did, but he got to get over the week. They've done a great job, over this past week. It's unbelievable. Back to Wheeler, it's just, he's had a couple starts this week where, you think he's on a little bit of a bad roll right here, and he's, people are taking advantage of some of his mistakes that he's making, and he's giving up some runs and stuff that we're not accustomed to him giving up, because he's been
when you get to the bigs, I mean, it's such a fine line. A pitcher makes a little mistake, leaves it a little higher in the center of the plate.
See, the guys staying in the big leagues, just like guys staying in the big leagues pitching, is not making those type of making your mistakes. The hitters not missing their pitches all the time, and not getting base hits when they should. If you don't get enough hits, you're not going to stay here that long, unless you're a defensive whiz and you bring in something to the team that, they don't have. It's the only way you're staying. But you got to hit. You got to bring some of that positive mojo to the offensive side.
Former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green. We go on the mound with Tommy Green, brought to you by the Joe Campaign for designated drivers. Tommy, yesterday I did a little homework and looked 33 in the third and 1/3 innings. And Taijuan Walker, his ERA is 1.50. These guys are pitching lights out in the month of June.
I mean, it's something a little bit. I mean, because I know Walker struggled, at the beginning of the season. He's been on a track right now which is it's been, to me, to earn the right to, he's got together a whole first that's pretty good. And the same thing with Ranger. I mean, he's pitching well, but he was short getting here. Now, I mean, are they pitching all? Do they deserve the whole time? Not on our team, but in the league.
Right.
I think they deserve.
Ryan here. I wanted to pick your brain a little bit about the Phillies' chances at the. We've talked about the inconsistency. As Cody Clemens, now he's in AAA, so Derek Hall can do. But the division, it's a pretty big cushion for the Braves, but it's not out of reach to overtake the Braves. They can try and get on a streak in the month of July and August, and just overall outfield and mesh this entire line.
And they are 11 out right now. They're 11 behind.
It's a pretty good cushion.
It's a pretty big cushion.
Well, it's got a whole half of baseball left. Try to get ahead of ourselves and worry about that game at a time, and keep playing quality baseball and doing what they're doing, and trying to minimizing some of the ball games. The errors that the throwing errors and stuff. It's like it was a very well pitched ball game by Sanchez the other night. Long throw, but gets around it. Ball sails, ends up costing us an unearned run that ends up costing us a chance to win the ball game because it was a 2-1 score. So small things mean a lot, and during the course of this second half, we got to shore up the defense and just try to keep doing the things we're doing right now that's making us succeed. We're pitching well. We're picking each other up right now. Wheeler and Nola are talked about this in the past a little bit. They're giving up some starts and giving us a chance to win ball games. You got 3 out of the 5 going good. That's pretty good as a starting staff. And then you're going to have games like we're going to outslug guys too. So that's a win. That's a winning combination right there. So we need to keep the formula going. Those guys are going to get on track and stop minimizing, and they're going to minimize the mistakes a little bit. Wheeler and Nola. And, they're going to be okay. It's good all last year. But that's what's so great about this game. Everything's different. You got to adjust. And every start's different. So they're being thrown a curveball right now. They just got to get back on track and find the ways to get people out.
Yeah, you're completely right. We'll get back on track and just start meshing with more consistency. But, I just want to pick your brain, too, a little bit more about this Braves team. A record of 21-4 in the month of June. Just unreal to begin with. And they arguably have the National League MVP. It might be their year, it's looking like.
Well, it's right. But right now they probably have a better option back, is what I'm thinking. But their pitching staff is nowhere near what the Braves were back then, I think. So, but they are pitching well. They're picking like we're talking about. They're out slugging people. They're doing things right, and they've tended to even back in the day, they've always played good defensive baseball, which helps out their starting pitchers, which they've had their share of problems with, finding people, in their organization, and that's why we keep bringing up these guys that tend to get the job done. Yeah. And you don't be scared. Everybody would have, and it's just like as good as they've been going good, they can go bad too.
Just like last year's Mets, Tommy. What they have 100 and how many wins did they have?
101.
101 wins last year. They got eliminated in the first round.
Well, it's amazing how the snowball effect and things go. You don't wish nobody. I want the Braves to stay healthy. I want guys
at their best.
But we got to win. We got to beat them. And what we haven't done this year, we haven't beat them head to head. If we're beating them head to head, we have a chance. Yep. But we're not beating them head to head either.
We'll get them.
We keep relying on other people to help us out. So
every Sunday we go on the mound with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene, brought to you by the John R. Elliot Hero Campaign for designated drivers. Actually, Danny Ryan, he's got a good question he wants to ask you because I couldn't answer it. So Danny, why don't you lay it on him?
Yeah, Tommy, if hopefully we're in a good enough position to be in the divisional series by then.
Put your manager hat on.
Yeah, put your manager hat on for a second. If you had to choose a starter for Game 2 of whatever series in the playoffs the Phillies are in, are you going with Aaron Nola, Rangers, or possibly even Taijuan Walker? I don't expect you to choose him.
Right now, if the playoffs were today, Tommy, right now, who would be your number 2 starter?
Suarez.
See?
I agree.
Your minds think alike.
But Billy said that he would go with Taijuan Walker as the 3 starter and have Nola be the 4 starter in the playoffs. What do you think about that?
Well, it all depends on how everything's going at the end. At the end of the season, and you're saying how they're pitching right now. And right can go wrong. With having basically Suarez and Walker pitching 1 and 2.
Right.
So if you're saying the end of the season, you're going to have one of your big dogs, that say to speak, or Nola, whoever's one's pitching the best, going. And right now, with the way if Suarez and them are pitching the same way at the end, it's hard to do to keep that up for a total of, that many starts. You want the guys to be clicking at the right time, and that's going to dictate the sort of who's pitching what, and depends on at the end of the season how they do, with the day's rest and stuff like that, because you don't want the guy rest and getting out of the room can be just as bad as going on no rest, hardly, so you went up pretty good, to do that. You have to be on a good roll, and they're in the big making pitch. 5 in a rotation. No, they're big. Every guy in your rotation pitcher, they deserve the right to be there and pitch there. So they're capable of doing that. When they get on a roll, I don't put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up there. If they're hot, they can beat anybody.
Yeah, hey, Tommy Green, this is Andrew Leeds. And last week I feel like we talked at length about Kyle Schwarber and the difficulties he'd been having and his body language, how it just seems like he's not quite in it. Last night, huge grand slam to, kind of bring things back, and you saw the positive emotion from him. So I was just curious, what do you think? Do you think Kyle Schwarber's on the right track to righting the ship and, turning things around with that grand slam last night? Do you think that's the spark he needed to get things going again?
Well, I'm hoping it was July 1st, so it's a different month, and he started off like that. Maybe there's another July month that's like June, But, we're asking him, we want him to be a better hitter, put more balls in play and be a hitter. The grand slam was off a breaking ball last night, which is, it was almost like he was sitting on it. He was looking for that type of pitch, which is great. I want him to see, being able to stay on that breaking ball and not pull it foul or swing and miss it. That's how you live. That's how you drive in runs with the bases loaded and stuff. But also the swinging and misses and stuff like that. If you get jumping, you're pull happy like that, and you're early on stuff all the time on the breaking pitch, and you're swinging and misses. You got to foul those guys. You got to be a little better. Hopefully, foul those guys off, and hopefully you get that mistake where he can drive in more runs and put the ball in play, and get that. He's got a boatload of at bats right now, and everybody's looking at his average in the 180s. He's got to get hot pretty good to bring that up and get above the 200.
I was going to say, Tommy. I was going to say he raised his average to 188.
Yeah, but he can get. It's just like anybody. We talk about Reese Hoskins all the time back in the day. He's going, hey, we're missing his power of production right there. I'll take that 240, 250. And I still think Reese Hoskins is a better hitter than that because he drives the ball to right center as good as anybody. When he's hot, when he's going good. It's just like Bryce Harper. When he's going good, he's not hitting home runs right now, but he's using the fields and doing the other things that he needs to do. Hopefully that power will come a little more as he keeps continually gain strength in that arm and get healthier and healthier. So we're looking better. They're trying to do some things to get us some power in that lineup. They're bringing Hall back up, because he's noted for it a little bit. He can do it, and he's a natural first baseman. So hopefully that they're on the right track and doing some things, and you never know what they're going to do at the trade deadline anyway.
And the starting lineups came out today. Ranger Suarez is on the hill with 2-2 with a 3.18 ERA. He's got 50 Ks on the season. Trey Turner, Nick Castellanos hitting third. Bryce Harper, DH, hitting fourth. JT Realmuto, fifth. Bryson Stott, sixth. Alec Boehm, seventh. Long ball, Derek Hall in the lineup, batting eighth. And batting ninth, in the center fielder, Brandon Marsh. Let's see if Long Ball Hall can keep those pitchers honest.
Get us a long ball.
Yeah.
Well, I just want him to hit it solid. If you got your big boys, in the lineup like Schwarber and Hall and stuff like that. They're hitting the balls on the screws. Good things are going to happen. That's the way. I don't look at the home runs. That stuff's going to happen if they're squaring it up.
Okay, Tommy Green, when are you going to be back down in the area here, down at the Jersey Shore?
Matter of fact, as soon as I got to be at the ballpark here, and then I'm going to be heading down there for a couple of days. After
have a happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July weekend to you and your lovely bride, and we'll talk to you next Saturday or next Sunday. Excuse me.
You got it, man. Yeah. Hey, you got it, my friend. Looking forward to it.
All right, there he is. Tommy Green on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. On the Mound with Tommy Green is brought to you by the John R. Elliot Hero Campaign for designated drivers. Reminding you not to drink and drive and to always have a designated driver. Sign up now for the 12th annual Hero Walk and Run on the Ocean City Boardwalk Sunday, October 15th. Go to herocampaign.org to register today for the Hero Campaign's biggest fundraiser to help them prevent drunk and impaired driving. That's herocampaign.org.